Hello again, luxury watch lovers. In this channel, I cover the background, fundamental design features, and things to consider before buying your watch. If you have a luxury watch that you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments below. In today's video, we're going to cover the Maurice Lacroix Aikon. It joins the current trend of integrated cases and shaped watches with a combination of lavish and sporty elements. And as you can see, it has a beautiful flat sapphire crystal encircled by its striking signature 6-arm bezel. It definitely catches your eye and has an impressive water resistance of up to 200 meters. When Desco von Schulthess company, an international corporation, debuted its first watch models under the name Maurice Lacroix in 1975, it was able to draw on its extensive expertise and know-how in the industry. Founded in 1889 in Zurich, the firm has served a vital connection between well-known Swiss watch manufacturers and the rest of the world, particularly in the Far East, since 1946. Maurice Lacroix's parent firm bought a watch assembly facility in the early 1960s. High-quality timepieces were created in the heart of the Swiss Jura mountains for various well-known watch companies with their private label signatures on the dial, case, and movement. It was simply a minor step for Desco von Schulthess to launch its own brand, Maurice Lacroix, thanks to the knowledge gathered over decades of producing high-quality timepieces. And since then, Maurice Lacroix's path has been characterized by significant milestones. Since the beginning of the third millennium, watchmakers have recognized that the success of a model is dependent on finding the proper mix of materials to awaken the consumer's desire. Just as wine is typically a delicate combination of several kinds, the economic success of a watch is mainly determined by the sum of its component elements. As a result, it is uncommon for a watch to gain global iconic status purely on the strength of its design or movement. The new Aikon Automatic series is based on the original model and comes in a variety of variations, including 3-hand date and chronographs. So with its revised design, the Aikon family is an attention-grabbing statement on the wrist, in which consecutive machining procedures have raised to new realms of beauty, adding even more dynamic angles and more exaggerated polishing and satin finishes. The Aikon is a reincarnation of the Calypso watch line from the 1990s with the same design language. The 6 polished arms, as Maurice Lacroix refers to them, arranged around the bezel as well as the bracelets, which normally comprise 5 links and have a design similar to that of an integrated bracelet, are the standout elements of these clocks. The original line of Aikon watches debuted in 2016, had quartz movements, and in 2018, the business produced new, far more improved models, this time driven by automatic movements. There is nothing to complain about in terms of style, with the M logo in relief of the leather straps and the overall good quality. The Aikon is such a stylish timepiece. However, there was one major drawback. It was only available with quartz movements. You'll likely acknowledge that it's not on par with the watch's luxurious, sporty appearance. But this year, the Aikon collection gets 2 new variants, both with automatic movements chronograph or 3-hand, and still at a reasonable price. So what are some of the design features? Today we're looking at the reference ML115, which has a steel casing of 42mm in diameter and 11mm in height. We're looking at a lug-to-lug of 48mm and a large 20mm distance between the lugs. It has an automatic rotor with a manual wind movement and packs an impressive 38 hours of power reserve. It's definitely most recognized for its decorated dial, which has a clou de Paris or squared pattern, which includes a date window and is available in silver, black, or blue. Covering the dial is a sapphire crystal lens. And it's up to you if you would like an integrated leather strap or a steel bracelet. Either way, it is an easy change device and has a folding clasp. Its impressive water resistance of up to 200 meters might seal the deal on this one, but it isn't for the faint-hearted, as you're looking at a budget of roughly $1,900. Here are things to consider before buying the Maurice Lacroix Aikon. Starting with number 1, the bracelet. The steel bracelet is undeniably the focal point of this ensemble. The craftsmanship is fantastic, especially when combined with the casing. Each link is made up of alternate brushed patterns that span 5 distinct surfaces. The bracelet's outermost edges are beveled and highly polished, and when you roll your wrist, the light travels and dances elegantly. The bracelets have a modest and steady taper towards the clasp. In addition, the clasp of the Maurice Lacroix Aikon automatic bracelet is a secret butterfly kind. This clasp entirely conceals itself behind the links of the bracelet, resulting in an endless series of links while you wear the watch, making wrist rolls a lot of fun. The ornamentation hidden behind the ML Aikon's butterfly clasp was a pleasant surprise for me. The hinges and primary clasp release have a very fine, intricate perlage decoration. It's one of those things you can only see when you put the watch on. It's not something that people on the train or in the elevator will notice on your watch, so it's much more intimate. The clasping movement is smooth and the locks are quite secure. The interior of the clasp where the pin clicks in, on the other hand, is very highly polished, which might result in easy blemishes and scuffs. The Maurice Lacroix Aikon's bracelet nature and behavior allow it to fit quite comfortably to the wearer's wrist. The design is unique in that it feels both attractive and safe at the same time. And when you put on the ML Aikon, you're truly putting this thing on. Its presence is something that one is always conscious of while wearing it. The Maurice Lacroix Aikon bracelet includes a fast release mechanism, which allows you to remove the bracelet quickly and without using any tools. This immediately raises the possibility of being able to swap straps and have the ML Aikon automatic run the whole range of your strap drawer collection. That, however, is not the case. The bracelet of the Aikon automatic is technically incorporated, so while you may remove it, the limited area won't enable you to test out your leather straps or NATOs on it. Maurice Lacroix does, however, provide additional leather straps intended to accommodate the Aikon's automatic unique lug connection mechanism. However, you may like the quick change method better, as well as the possibility to utilize the straps. Moving on to number 2, the case. The Aikon case does rest well on the wrist, even though the case is straight and without any curvature, nor do the lugs curve down past the case for wrist contour. However, as previously said, the connection between the bracelet and the case is what drives the comfort of this watch. The ML Aikon automatic has a strong wrist presence as a consequence of how the bracelet and case interact together. The casing does feel like an organic extension of the bracelet. The case sides are brushed with a beveled high polish feature that matches the brushed polish treatment of the bracelet links. Directly looking at the case reveals a typical rounded timepiece case profile. The surface of the bezel, like the rest of the case and bracelet, is a mix of polished and brushed. However, the effect here simply serves to detract from readability and your ability to focus on the watch. Both the dial's crystal and one of the case's backs are sapphires. The case back itself has a series of screws that appear to be keeping it together. Covering our tracks with number 3, the dial. The ML Aikon automatic comes with 3 dial options: black, blue, and white. This grid-like dial texture with a little gloss is what stands out the most. The hands are rhodium plated, which brings out the brightness. The markers have a high shine as well. The majority of the dial parts have the same form profile, long and narrow. I'm guessing this was a deliberate decision to keep the watch looking elegant. Readability may be something to keep in mind for some of you. The high polished components, with their small profile and thin form, provide very little contrast against the white dial. When light hits the clock, all of the legibility components tend to melt into the background. However, the readability of the Aikon automatic would be much better on the black or blue dial models. The dial's craftsmanship appears to be of high quality. The dial's grid lines are crisp and well executed. Furthermore, the hands have a very delicate and subtle taper to them, which adds to the sensation of delicacy. Let's get going with number 4, the movement. The ML115 caliber, which is effectively a Maurice Lacroix branded base Selita SW200, powers the Aikon automatic. Maurice Lacroix pioneered a new look by inventing a new type of caliber, driven by components produced for the first time in silicium. With its ability to produce these cutting-edge parts in-house, this avant-garde technology, which was still in limited usage at the time, represented a critical turning point for the corporation. With many other watches, the winding action of the movement itself is a little clunky in that there is a sense of unnecessary resistance when manually winding the piece. And this movement peculiarity may also be seen in the Maurice Lacroix Aikon automatic. With a watch in this price bracket attempting to portray refinement, one would expect the movement treatment to be as completed and concentrated on as the bracelet. However, the movement is pretty sufficient in terms of performance. It's a straightforward 3-handler with a date. It's just that the work put into the movement or the guts of the watch isn't quite in sync with the clear focus on the band. Shining the light on our final number 5, the loom. Loom may be found on the indices as well as the hour and minute hands. It performs a reasonable job and lasts a reasonable period, but it's nothing to write home about, so don't expect exceptional brightness or endurance. The loom is one of the watch's weakest features, but on the bright side, excuse the pun, it's only because it falls short of the high standards set by the rest of the timepiece's features. And this wraps up my review of the Maurice Lacroix Aikon. I really appreciate you watching this video. Nothing helps my channel more than you watching until the very end. If you enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comments below what other watches you think deserve their own video. And remember, time is your greatest asset.